Nobody has been talking about crypto, but is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? We're going to tell you if it's the right time to buy crypto or if you should stay away, like a lot of people are choosing to stay away. That's what this video is for, so definitely tune in. Newski, let's get right into it, bro.
Yeah, so this is actually pretty interesting. So the links we're about to share will be in the description below for you guys to follow along. But if you guys did not notice, Bitcoin saw a pretty high rally that just occurred. So it says that spot Bitcoin ETF approval is coming, but analysts differ on the possible price reaction, right? Because, as I just said, there was some news. It says Bitcoin briefly rallied 7%, bro, to $30,000 before retracing on erroneous news headline of the SEC approving the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF application. So we've been talking about this thing a lot, and I just had a quick question for you. Like, last time we spoke about it, what were you feeling about this? Like, if it does happen and it does get approved with the spot Bitcoin ETF, what do you think happens to the price?
Man, Bitcoin is going to spiral to the upside, man. It's going straight to the moon because everyone's waiting on that. That's inflows, right? Like, that's money in ETFs is really where it's at. Like, when that ETF money starts to enter the Bitcoin space, oh man, bro, it's over.
And the whole thing's happening with Ethereum too, right? So it's not just Bitcoin; it's the top two players in the crypto world, I believe, in general, that this ETF is revolving around.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, it says it right here, right? If prices do jump on a spot ETF green light, which is what we just heard, like it might happen, it could be a sell the news event, because if we saw 7%, and that was just like, I think it actually went as high as even 10%. But if it was just 7%, this news, it's like that was just on fake news, kind of. Bro, so imagine if real thing comes out, bro.
Bro, I was actually on a chart watching it because everybody knows that I trade. So I'm literally looking at Bitcoin's chart. The news drops. It was only out for maybe 5 minutes, and it went up like 10% in 5 minutes. Like it started, and then they had to say, yeah, you look at that 8-minute return. There you go.
eight minutes, you need 7%, bro.
That's 7%. Crazy.
And we talk about the S&P giving you like between 10%, 8 to 10% in a year. 8 minutes, you made that. So
plus, it's not a small market cap either. So to move that that amount of money in that amount of time is pretty astronomical.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? So we want to explain to you guys right now if you should be buying Bitcoin or Ethereum and something of that sort. But before we do that, please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel because it really does help us out a lot. But, bro, the thing I want to talk about is the Bitcoin halving event. And so far, from what we noticed, I have an article that I want to share with you guys. So this is basically talking about the Bitcoin halving dates of 2024 and what this really means. So essentially, if we go down, it says, what is Bitcoin halving? It says Bitcoin halving is a pre-programmed event that occurs approximately every 4 years or after the mining of 210,000 blocks. So that's very important to know because during the halving, the reward for mining a new block of Bitcoin is cut in half, which essentially means it's like, yo, it's becoming more scarce, I would say. And it's becoming more scarce, which means the value is likely to increase. Are we on the same page, bro?
Yeah, definitely.
So this is what you guys have to understand. When is the next Bitcoin halving event? It doesn't know the exact date. Like I know, Rel, I think, what was the date you saw, bro?
April 24th, 2024. Exactly.
This one says April 25th, 2024. So the key part is not necessarily the date because I've seen even Q1 and Q2 of 2024. So it can happen, but it is most likely happening in 2024. And they're cutting the reward to 3.125 BTC. This is what's super important. So let's just look at the overall dates and what actually happened. So let's cancel this out real quick. Bro, the first halving event in 2012, this was the price before Bitcoin, right? Like before the actual event. That says $12.35. 1 year later, I went to 900. That's a massive return. Let's look at the second event, 2016. This was the price before, it was at $663. Look where it is a year after, 2,500. The third one that we all know, that this is the most ridiculous one, 8,500 was before. It says it peaked to 64,000 over the next several months. It actually went as high as 69,000, I believe.
It did, yep.
So just think about that. Like, if you notice, the lows after each halving event were higher than the previous halving, correct?
Yep, higher lows.
So if we think about that, it's like, okay, no one is talking about crypto right now. It's pretty quiet across the board. The only news that you really see is this news right here, which we just covered with you guys. It's like, oh, like the spot Bitcoin ETF, the spot Ethereum ETF, like what's happening? So when you really think about that, this thing right here that we want to talk about is different phases of the market. So there's like, I want you to explain this more, but the accumulation, public participation, and then the excess and the distribution. So can you just explain this to the people and then obviously show the chart?
Yeah, so this is something that is typical of any market, really. And so it's the same thing in the crypto market as the stock market. And honestly, you could almost say the housing market, but the distribution stage of the housing market is nowhere near like what it is, you know, in the stock market. But so accumulation stage is kind of like what you see in Bitcoin right now, which is the price is just staying the same. It's at a low price compared to what it used to be, because everybody's like, man, I remember when Bitcoin was almost 70,000 and now it's only 25. Now it's only 28. I don't want to touch that. Guess who's touching that? Smart money. Big institutions, people that are in the know, the people who want to go and buy assets at a discount. That's who's buying the accumulation stage. And so they're just literally gathering a major position, and then the price starts to push up. Now that the price starting to push up, it's starting to make noise. So this is where you start to see your friend text you like, "Oh, bro, did you see the price of Bitcoin today?" Like,
and really quick, bro, not even sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure you make this very clear. Notice how it's quiet. I think that's the main piece I want y'all to understand. Like, two things: one, it's quiet, no one's talking about, and two, big money, as he said, or he said, smart money is accumulating. Okay, just keep that just those are the main points that I want y'all to understand. Okay, now go ahead, bro.
Yep, and that accumulation stage can last for a long time. It's not always short-lived. Sometimes something will accumulate for a year or two before it breaks out to the upside. And that upside is the public participation stage. And that's, like I said, where your friend might text you, yo, have you seen the price of Bitcoin lately? And your grandmother at the
Thanksgiving dinner time period.
Yeah, like, hey, baby, have you guys get some Bitcoin yet? Like, all right, yo, like, that's when you probably shouldn't be buying it, because what comes after that, excess, that's where you start to see prices spiral. And listen, there's gains to be made in the excess stage for sure. But you want to get really wary, because the people who accumulated the smart money at the bottom, at a point they're going to take profit. That's the distribution stage where they sell that asset off. And that's something we've seen in every Bitcoin cycle, since that's the topic today, where we have for example, pre-halving event, you see the price would be something like, what was it? The price, you saw the prices earlier. Go back to that for me for a second.
Yeah. So like literally, like for example, he's talking about like 8,500 would be like 4 dates. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're trying to say is like that would be the accumulation. Like people are necessarily like right here. When I say people, I mean like the big funds, the big high money people are just going in, accumulating. And it's not saying you're gonna catch the bottom, but if you're dollar cost averaging across the board, you're accumulating at 8,500. You might even be accumulating at 15,000. You might be accumulating at 20,000. It's just a range that you're going in. But that's the point. Go ahead.
Exactly. And then the distribution stage is when you go from being 8,500 to now that we're at 70,000, and then we sell it off. That's the distribution stage, the big sell-off. And that's what's been killing the crypto market. And people say, yo, crypto's a scam. Man, I lost all my money. It's like, yeah, because you bought in the distribution stage. You were supposed to buy in the accumulation stage. So what we're highlighting for you guys today is the fact that we may be in an accumulation stage on Bitcoin. And I'm gonna show it real quick as well.
I'll stop sharing. And that's the crazy part, right? Like if you guys think about it, what I consider like the public participation phase is like, yeah, like we missed the boat. Now we're trying to participate and try to get involved. But the excess part of it, I consider that the Fomo stage. Like, yo, you really feel you missed the boat and you have a fear of missing out. So you're trying to throw money in to try to catch up to everyone. But high key, bro, you're buying at that like $55,000 to $69,000 range, and then it's over from there.
Yep, literally, bro. I mean, you can see it. Like this is the same stuff we were talking about. Accumulation.
And this is the
Of
Bitcoin chart, correct?
Yeah, this is a big chart of Bitcoin, and just for people who know charts, if the line is going up, price is going up. If you see the line going down, price starts to go down. So accumulation stage, we
You
were
can
pretty
see
much
it
going.
clear as day. I see it right there.
Yep, accumulation, price is going sideways. Public participation, excess, distribution.
And now
All the way down
look
the
at right
road.
there. Go back to the left right there, right here, right there, right? So from what I'm noticing, bro, that says 2022. So from June of 2022, really, if you go to the right, from June of 2022, you now go to the right from me, because I want to see something. Like drag it over to, yeah, bro, look, it's just staying within a particular range. It hasn't really went crazy. It's just stayed in that range. So it's like, this is the stage that most people are talking about when they say accumulation.
Yeah, it's definitely accumulation. Like this is where everybody was scared to touch crypto, but people who actually put their money on where their mouth was, they're in severe profit. They're up. They've been up 100% at a certain point, but they're up almost 100% if you bought the bottom down here when everybody else was scared. But it's okay. You don't have to buy the bottom. You could buy the range. And just this general range, anywhere in here from buying it at 17,000 to buying it at even 30,000. Remember, we talked about how we make higher highs eventually. Every crypto winter had a higher low, and every crypto bull market had a higher high. Our last high was 69,000 up here. So where do you think the next high would be when it's time for the public participation stage into excess? So if you're buying down here at 30,000 and it goes north of 70, you're going to make over 100% return. So where's your risk to reward at this point? Of course, you can think about the fact that, oh, what if it goes down? That's investing for you. And this is why we're saying this to people who do have a belief in Bitcoin. Just understand market phases. And we are in an accumulation phase right now. So yes, you may fear the fact that we might distribute even lower, but that's the risk you take. But what if you're too scared to jump in and you're missing out on the fact that we may burst to the upside? We told you guys things that could affect it, right? We told you guys about the crypto ETF and all of that.
Yeah.
So
that's a fact.
There's reasons why we could go to the upside. So you got to definitely be careful there.
Yeah, and I want to be transparent. I stopped investing in Bitcoin myself around that time period for like the last 2 months, because I was like, I'm not really sure what's happening. But then it stayed static. I was kind of impressed that it didn't fall below a certain range that I wanted. I'm like, all right, cool. So we're okay right now. And I'm actually looking to dive back in, and I'm only putting in money that I feel comfortable with. Like, I'm not going in and trying to play catch up. Like, yo, I didn't invest for 2 months. Now let me put in $5,000 this month to catch up. No, like I'm going to go and do my regular dollar cost average and see where I end up, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to actually make a difference. Where I could dollar cost average. If I lose it, I'm completely okay. I can accept the risk, and that's fine. So that's what you should do if you're okay with it. I think that's the point that Rel is really trying to make. But we want to know your thoughts. We want to know what you guys think. So if you guys have any comments, like I know you guys text us sometimes, but comment below and engage with us so we can make sure that we actually engage on the YouTube platform. So if you're still watching, thank you. We appreciate you. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Plus hit that little notification bell, because we drop
2 videos a week.
And you not want to miss them. Check out this video that we dropped on Monday. It was a fire video. We will check you out on Monday. Until then, peace.
Peace.
Soundstripe.